Chapter 281. If you can't beat them, join them. Heaven Do Empire, Imperial Palace. Emperor Shuye frowned. What exactly is Spirit Hall doing now? They're promoting seeds? The officials below exchanged puzzled looks. Spirit Hall was a force of spirit masters. Why would they bother with ordinary farmers? Even if Spirit Hall demanded tribute from the Heaven Do and Star Luo empires, those payments still came from spirit masters. Ordinary commoners should be beneath their concern. I heard these crops yield 10 times the usual amount, one official offered hesitantly. A few scoffs rippled through the chamber. 10 times? Are you joking? If they really did yield 10 times, our empire's strength would increase dramatically. It wasn't my rumor, the speaker protested. It came from someone in Spirit Hall. Spirit Hall obviously knows nothing about farming. They're probably just wasting their time, another said dismissively. Emperor Shuye ignored them and looked to Crown Prince Qian Renshui. Crown Prince, what do you think Spirit Hall is up to? Qian Renshui looked almost as puzzled as the ministers. She felt like an outsider to these matters. After a moment's thought, she offered, Your Majesty, perhaps Spirit Hall is trying to win popular support. I don't believe they do something without a purpose. Whether the crops really yield 10 times more, we'll see by the autumn harvest. If it's true, Spirit Hall will have won the people's hearts, and any commoners who later awaken as spirit masters may be inclined to join Spirit Hall. Even if a few commoners awaken as spirit masters, how many would there be? An official scoffed. Qian Renshui acknowledged the doubt. As a member of the imperial family, she understood the odds. Commoner awakenings were rare. There were only around 100,000 spirit masters across the continent, 70% in Spirit Hall, 2% in sects and family forces, the rest scattered in the two great empires. The imperial position was precarious. Let Spirit Hall do as it pleases, Emperor Shuye said with a smile. If these crops really increase yields, it benefits us as well. The Star Luo Empire held a similar council and reached similar confusion. Longtime Spirit Master officials, used to positions of power, just couldn't fathom Spirit Hall's motives. You're leaving? Bibi Dong asked. Yes, I need to visit the 3 single-attribute clans. Besides the Strength clan, the other 3 can be brought under control easily, Xiao Ze replied. You're really dedicated to Spirit Hall, Bibi Dong said. I'm doing it for myself. Only if Spirit Hall prospers can I easily become a god, Xiao Ze shrugged. I'll handle matters of the lower 4 sects, Bibi Dong said. They fell silent for a moment. Then Xiao Ze stepped forward and, to Bibi Dong's surprise, covered her cheek with his palm. The warm touch caught her off guard. Before she could react, he gently took her right hand. He leaned in so close she could smell the faint fragrance of him. Her face flushed. She was only now realizing how intimate the moment was. What are you doing? Bibi Dong stammered. Their faces were inches apart, so close she could see his eyelashes. It was the first time she had been this near to a man. Yu Xiaogang had never been this close, and Qian Shunji wasn't a man at all. Xiao Ze's thumb brushed her lips and he smiled. You're quite cute. Then, as quickly as he'd approached, he stepped back and left. Bibi Dong stood frozen, feeling the warmth where his thumb had touched her. Her mind buzzed. Xiao Ze! She cried out behind him. Xiao Ze couldn't help but smile as he walked away. Back at the hotel, Xiao Ze found Ning Rongrong and the others waiting. You're back, Ning Rongrong greeted him, stepping forward to hug his arm. Everyone thought you might be so tempted by Bibi Dong, you wouldn't come back, Liu Erlong teased with a hint of jealousy. Jealous? Xiao Ze laughed. Me jealous? I'm just warning you. Bibi Dong isn't someone to be trifled with, Liu Erlong added quickly. Got it, Xiao Ze said with a smile. Ning Rongrong and the others all suspected Xiao Ze had feelings for Bibi Dong. They knew him well. Ning Rongrong was secretly delighted at the thought. Bibi Dong was Spirit Hall's supreme pontiff. If Xiao Ze could win her, it would be something to boast about. She imagined one day saying with a proud grin, even the supreme pontiff has to call me big sister. Ye Lingling cut in, practical as ever. Xiao Ze, Schoolmaster Ning is still waiting for you. He probably wants to discuss your joining Spirit Hall. I know, Xiao Ze said. He needed to speak with the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. He pinched Ning Rongrong's soft cheek. I have to go talk to your father. Just don't start a fight, she said. How could we possibly fight? Xiao Ze smiled. He went next door, where only Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo Chen Xin were present. "Father-in-law," he greeted playfully. "Ha ha, ha, you're here," Ning Fengji said, then his expression turned serious. "What exactly are you thinking? Becoming Saint Son of Spirit Hall?" Xiao Ze ignored the bait and asked instead, "In your opinion, who's stronger, the upper three sects or Spirit Hall?" Ning Fengji hesitated. "I'm afraid Spirit Hall is stronger. Those enforcers are extremely formidable." "Then it's simple," Xiao Ze said. "If you can't beat them, join them." Ning Fengji froze. "Are you surrendering?" "Of course not. I've already become the Saint's son. In the future, I'll be the Supreme Pontiff. Spirit Hall will be mine. How is that surrender?" Both Ning Fengji and Chen Xin exchanged looks. The logic had a disarming ring to it. Xiao Ze continued, "Spirit Hall is ambitious and will eventually set its sights on the upper three sects. The Clear Sky sect is powerful. They'll probably go after the Seven Treasure Glazed Tile School and the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Clan first. You can't match them head-on, so there's no point in clashing with Spirit Hall now." Ning Fengji and Chen Xin listened, weighing his words. Xiao Ze's plan was bold. From the inside out, he intended to turn Spirit Hall into his own instrument, rather than face it in a losing fight. Chapter 282. Open a single page on the family tree. Besides, why do your upper three sects need to cooperate? Isn't it because you're afraid of Spirit Hall? If you join them directly, you'll be on the same side, Xiao Ze said. But wouldn't that be bad? Ning Fengji had never seriously considered joining Spirit Hall before. What's so bad about it? "Father-in-law, do you want to get into trouble with the Clear Sky sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrant Dragon Clan, or do you want to develop?" Xiao Ze asked. "Of course I want to develop." Ning Fengji had no desire for conflict. He already had the 8 treasure glazed tile pagoda. Maybe one day he'd have the 9 treasure glazed tile pagoda, and the sect could even be renamed. With his contributions, wouldn't he earn a whole new page, maybe a whole new chapter in the family tree? Who would still be keen on fighting then? Then that's good. Join Spirit Hall, and they won't target you. Both sides can maintain good relations. Maybe you can even reach a higher level, Xiao Ze continued. "I only worry. Bibi Dong might want to swallow us whole." Ning Fengji was not strongly opposed to joining Spirit Hall now. A safe position was the most important thing for the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. No, the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School is still a sect. Spirit Hall isn't a sect. You can remain a sect, and as long as you don't cause trouble, nothing will happen. In the original story, Bibi Dong was so arrogant she wanted to attack. Wasn't that to attack the Heaven Du Empire? They would definitely join that battle. If they didn't get involved, even if Spirit Hall wanted to act, they'd be last. Besides, Spirit Hall also has me. I won't let her do that. That's good, I agree, but we still need to see what Grandpa Sword thinks. Ning Fengji nodded. He understood that joining Spirit Hall now would be mostly nominal. He wouldn't have to run anything, at most pay some protection fees. Grandpa Sword's father was killed during a match with the High Priest, Ning Fengji said. Sword Douluo shook his head. "This is between me and Qian Daoliu. It has nothing to do with Spirit Hall or the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School. If joining is good for the sect, then join. I will take care of my own grudge." Ning Fengji sighed softly. "All right." "Grandpa Sword, I'm afraid you won't have a chance," Xiao Ze suddenly said. Chen Qin's eyes lifted slightly, brows knitting. "What do you mean?" "The High Priest is a limit Douluo. His strength is unquestionable. But within a certain period, if Grandpa Sword can't win, he will die," Xiao Ze said. "Die? No way. He's a limit Douluo. He can easily live another 100 years. Sword Douluo exclaimed. "It's different. The Qian family are descendants of the angel god. Someone in this generation of the Qian family has been chosen by the angel god. When she ascends to godhood, Qian Daoliu will have to sacrifice himself." Ning Fengji and Sword Douluo were both startled. Someone from the Qian family is going to become a god? Of course. Father-in-law, you even know this person. Who? I don't recall knowing anyone from this generation of the Qian family, Ning Fengji said. Xiao Ze smiled. Shui Qinghe. What? Ning Fengji was so shocked he stood up, speechless for a long time. Sword Douluo said, Shui Qinghe is from the Qian family. That's right. The original Shui Qinghe died long ago. The current Shui Qinghe is Qian Daoliu's granddaughter. Qian Renshui. After a long moment, Ning Fengji managed a wry smile. I never realized my student was from the Qian family. She has the angel god suit spirit bone, so even Qian Daoliu would find it hard to detect. Ning Fengji nodded. The Heaven Do Empire, even the crown prince, has been replaced. Its fall is not far off. He was a little speechless too. Members of the Qian family actually going to the Heaven Do Empire to be crown prince. How boring. So the cooperation between the 7 Treasure Glazed Tile School and Spirit Hall is a good thing. Understood. Ning Fengji nodded. After finishing the conversation, Xiao Ze opened the door, and Ning Rongrong suddenly flung herself into his arms. She clung like a koala, eyes darting about. Accident! Accident! She said, deliberately pressing her bangs to Xiao Ze's chin while her small leather shoes peeked from under her skirt and hooked nervously together. Xiao Ze didn't know whether to laugh or cry. We weren't going to fight. Why are you eavesdropping? Ning Rongrong giggled and stuck out her small pink tongue. I was just worried. Rongrong. Ning Fengji looked a little speechless. Was he that violent a person? Dad, I'm leaving. Ning Rongrong tugged Xiao Ze away. This girl, Ning Fengji said, noticing Rongrong seemed happier than before. She was getting along very well with Xiao Ze. He straightened his clothes. Uncle John, let's go. We'll meet Bibi Dong. Okay, back in their room. Xiao Ze was instantly surrounded by a group of beauties and thoroughly enjoying himself. He leaned into Liu Erlong's soft, plump embrace. Her warmth made him drowsy. Shui Binger and Shui Yuer's 4 slender hands massaged his leg muscles, the cool touches very pleasant. Ye Lingling's life energy bloomed from her fingertips, seeping into his arm meridians with her massage. Du Guyan worked the other arm. Her technique not as refined as Ye Lingling's, but it was something. Ning Rongrong nestled against his chest like a cat, letting him play with her. Her pretty face flushed, soft sighs escaping her continuously. Meng Yuan peeled a crystal grape and brought it to his lips. Xiao Ze ate it and enjoyed Meng Yuan's soft fingers, even as she playfully teased inside his mouth a little. Huo Wu danced gracefully before him in a tempting outfit. Few straps, plenty to admire. Today's a rest day. Tomorrow we go back to Heaven Do City, Xiao Ze said. Sigh. Even so, going back to Heaven Do City isn't a little dangerous? Ning Rongrong said. Yes, I think Shuiye is going crazy. Xiao Ze shook his head. I am now Spirit Hall's Saint Son. If he dares to touch me, he's choosing to break ties with Spirit Hall. As long as he doesn't break, he won't deal with me. Besides, this time I'm going to subdue the 3 single-attribute clans. I can't leave them to Tang San, Xiao Ze said. Which 3? Someone asked. The Speed Clan, the Break Clan, and the Defense Clan. And the Strength Clan? Meng Yuan asked. Xiao Ze sneered. The Strength Clan's leader is Tang Hao's lackey. He only listens to Tang Hao. No matter what Tang Hao does to him, he'll still fawn over him. Such a person is useless. We'll deal with him when the time comes. I see. Then that man truly has no dignity. Meng Yuan was speechless. She'd heard a little about the suppression of the 4 single-attribute clans, but to keep following Tang Hao even then, it wasn't loyalty. It was like he'd lost his mind. Chapter 283, Longsing City. Forget about the Strength Clan. I heard from the Spirit Hall contacts in Heaven Do City that the Strength Clan pledged allegiance to Tang San a few years ago. They're ultimately an enemy, so we'll deal with them when the time comes, Xiao Ze said. When will we deal with them? Du Guyan was already eager. No rush. Let's wait until we've brought the other 3 single-attribute clans under our control. After all, they used to be allies. Even if relations have soured, we still need to notify them, otherwise trouble could arise. The 3 single-attribute clans weren't especially useful to Xiao Ze personally, but they served important purposes. The Speed Clan provided Crystal Blood Dragon Ginseng. The Defense Clan had powerful defensive techniques, and Yang Wudi's alchemy was invaluable. If Yang Wudi were properly cultivated, Spirit Hall could have a steady supply of elixirs in the future. Not ordinary ones, but elixirs researched by the god of agriculture. That would be a huge boost for Spirit Hall. Besides, having more friends was better than having more enemies. It cost nothing to try. Since that's decided, we'll recruit the other clans tomorrow, Xiao Ze concluded. The next day, everyone set off. The carriage clattered out of Spirit City. Inside, it was unusually quiet. Across from Xiao Ze sat a woman in leather, tight jacket and pants. flicking her short burgundy hair. The zipper of her jacket stopped just above her full bust, and the carriage's jolts set a striking curve in the fabric. She was plainly well-formed, fiery and voluptuous, and she watched Ningrongrong and the others with wide eyes. "Who are you?" Ningrongrong asked. "Ling Yuan, titled Douluo. Supreme Pontiff Bibi Dong sent me to protect His Highness the Saint Sun," Ling Yuan said with a smile, idly flicking at an imaginary speck of dust. The women exchanged looks. Her presence was reassuring, but the fact she was a woman set off alarm bells. If Bibi Dong could take an interest, Ling Yuan might also take a liking to Xiao Ze. Ningrongrong considered it, then decided not to worry. Ling Yuan was a titled Douluo. Her family would not suffer a loss, and perhaps it would even trouble Bibi Dong a little. Their destination was Dragon Excitement City in the Star Luo Empire, the home of the Defense Clan. It would take Spirit Hall at least 3 days to reach it. Night fell. Everyone alighted from the carriage, and Huo Wu and the others began setting up the iron pot. Ling Yuan looked on, puzzled. "Are you planning to cook?" she asked. "That's right," someone answered. "Is that necessary? It's only a few days," Ling Yuan said. "You wouldn't understand," came the reply. "Heh, what wouldn't I understand?" Ling Yuan scoffed. "When you're done, don't expect me to eat it." "If you don't eat, you don't eat. How good can your cooking be?" Ling Yuan said, a little disdainful, thinking the young woman being delicate. She regretted the thought quickly. When Meng Yuan lifted the clay pot lid, a rich white broth bellowed steam. Honey-glazed ribs shone amber, stir-fried crystal vegetables looked tender to the point of weeping, and even a simple mushroom soup sent savory ripples through the air. The aroma was intoxicating. Ling Yuan's throat betrayed her with a startled gulp. Her legs pressed together instinctively. The tips of her ears, hidden beneath the burgundy hair, flushed. She pretended to stare into the distance. Everyone laughed at her self-control. It's delicious. Yuan, your cooking keeps getting better. I think you're almost catching up to Xiao Ze," Ningrongrong said with her cheeks puffed. "No way. It's just okay," Meng Yuan smiled. Ling Yuan kept stealing glances at the feast. Each time she saw Xiao Ze look her way, she turned away. "Come and eat," Xiao Ze invited. "No," Ling Yuan replied, a touch haughty. "Eat or don't eat." Ningrongrong said. "I'm only testing for poison for you all," Ling Yuan declared and walked over. The moment the rice hit her tongue, she froze. Her eyes went wide. The next second, the titled Douluo abandoned all pretense of dignity. She squatted before the small table, grabbing honey-glazed ribs with her left hand and scooping mushroom soup with her right, eating heartily. Grains of rice clung to her cheeks under her burgundy hair. She was lost in the pleasure of the food, heedless of manners. "Eat slowly," Xiao Ze said with a smile, offering a handkerchief. "No one's fighting you for it." Ling Yuan gasped, burning her mouth but refusing to spit it out. Between bites, she muttered incoherently, "The chefs of Spirit Hall should be chopped up and fed to dogs." She took the handkerchief and wiped her face. Her cheeks were crimson with embarrassment, but she tried to act nonchalant. Ningrongrong laughed. Ling Yuan's ears were so flushed they could have been bleeding. After everyone finished eating, Ling Yuan collapsed on the ground and rubbed her stomach. "So full. Have you noticed any changes in your body?" Ningrongrong asked. Ling Yuan touched herself and her eyes widened. She jumped to her feet. "My spirit power, my physique, even other parts, improved. The age of some of my spirit rings has increased." She stared at Meng Yuan in disbelief. Meng Yuan was a little intimidated by the gaze. "Don't look at me like that. It's not my cooking. It's Xiao Ze's ingredients. The crops he cultivates with his spirit have special effects." Ling Yuan turned her eyes on Xiao Ze as if she could devour him. Xiao Ze took a step back. "Don't look at me like that," he said. "So that's why His Eminence made you a saint's son right away, without consulting us. Your talent is truly formidable. With such special crops, your future is unlimited," Ling Yuan said, moved. "It's all right," Xiao Ze replied. "This is incredibly useful. Even for a titled Douluo like me, it's effective. That says everything. But you shouldn't let others know, or you'll be in danger. Even though you're a saint's son now, there are places we can't protect you," Ling Yuan warned. "Don't worry. Very few people know," Xiao Ze said. Ling Yuan's pulse quickened upon hearing that. 4 days later, everyone arrived at Dragon Excitement City. The city lay less than 200 li from the border between the two empires, a true frontier city. Though technically the territory of a subordinate kingdom, trade here was booming, and the streets were crowded with people coming and going. After passing inspection, they entered Dragon Excitement City. Putting everything else aside, the city was raking in money just from road tolls. Charging 1 gold coin per person was simply outrageous. Chapter 284, The Yu Clan, New Gao. They entered the city and, after asking directions, found the defense clan's residence. Soon the carriage stopped outside a large mansion. The character for defense hung on the gatehouse. Xiao Ze and his companions disembarked and went up to the main gate. "Who are you?" 2 guards blocked their way. Xiao Ze held up the Supreme Pontiff's order. "Let your clan leader see this. He will come out to receive me." One guard's eyes widened when he recognized the order. "The Supreme Pontiff's order," Xiao Ze nodded. The guards exchanged looks and hurriedly swung the gate open. The Supreme Pontiff's order was not something anyone could wield. Even among the upper 3 sects, it was rare. They led the group into the courtyard. "Clan leader, something's happened." One guard called up. "What is it?" A tall old man came down the hall. He had cropped white hair, a ruddy face, and round, copper bell eyes, solid as a fortress. New Gao's voice carried some displeasure. "Clan leader, a group came from outside. The one at their head carries the Supreme Pontiff's order." He handed the order to New Gao. New Gao examined the golden border, and his pupils narrowed. His expression turned serious. "This is the Spirit Hall's Supreme Pontiff's order." "How do you know?" the guard asked. "The Spirit Hall's order is different. An order with a golden border like this belongs to the Supreme Pontiff himself." New Gao felt pressure settle over him. If it truly belonged to the Supreme Pontiff, the man who came must be a close agent. But the defense clan hadn't done anything to provoke trouble recently. They had been quietly building houses and making a living. Why would the Spirit Hall send someone here? He pushed the worry aside and strode out to meet them. In the outer courtyard, a group of women sat talking, and a youth led them. Though he lacked the freshness of childhood, he still looked young, more boy than man. New Gao immediately guessed his identity. "Are you Spirit Hall's holy son, Xiao Ze?" he asked. "Clan leader New Gao." "Yes, that's me," Xiao Ze answered with a smile. Relief washed over New Gao. He hadn't come to accuse them then. "May I ask, holy son, why have you come to our humble defense clan?" New Gao asked anxiously. Xiao Ze smiled. "Clan leader New Gao, shall we talk inside?" New Gao slapped his own forehead. "My mistake. How rude of me. Come, let's go to the hall." They sat and tea was poured. After the attendants left, only New Gao, Xiao Ze, and the others remained. Xiao Ze sipped slowly, unhurried. New Gao, however, could not sit still. He fidgeted with obvious unease. Seeing this, Xiao Ze was mildly surprised. What was there to worry about if they had done nothing wrong? Putting down his cup, New Gao straightened. Xiao Ze studied him for a moment and then spoke plainly. "Clan leader New Gao, I didn't come here for a petty complaint. I came for the defense clan's future." "What do you mean?" New Gao's frown deepened. A bad feeling rose. Xiao Ze cut to the chase. "Your 4 single-attribute clans were caught in the crossfire with our Spirit Hall because of Tang Hao. Do you blame us or him?" New Gao had already thought this through. "It wasn't our doing. It was Tang Hao. He killed the previous Supreme Pontiff. The Spirit Hall dealing with him is reasonable. As for our 4 single-attribute clans being Tang Hao's subordinates, it's natural they were targeted." Xiao Ze applauded once. "I didn't expect clan leader New Gao to see it so clearly. I thought you'd grovel like the Strength Clan." New Gao's mouth curled in contempt. "Tai Tan isn't smart. Tang Hao harmed us, and yet he still fawns over him like a dog. Disgusting. If it weren't for our 4 single-attribute clans needing to stick together, I wouldn't have bothered with him. Last time he said he'd found Tang Hao's son, and even tried to defect. He wanted us to defect too. But I, Old Bai Niao, and Old Goat refused. He got angry and cut ties with us." Xiao Ze almost smiled. Tai Tan truly was foolish, a toady who kissed up to the wrong man. "That explains it," he said lightly. "That might have been for the best." New Gao tilted his head. "What are you getting at?" "I'll be direct. I, Xiao Ze, have come to invite the defense clan to join the Spirit Hall." New Gao shot up from his seat. "What?" The women in the room couldn't help but stifle laughs at the sight. Such a big man so startled. Holy Sun, are you certain? Niu Gao asked cautiously. Of course. Frankly, your 4 single attribute clans haven't been taken seriously. You were pressured because of Tang Hao. The fact you've managed to live on indicates the Spirit Hall wasn't deliberately suppressing you, otherwise you'd be struggling to survive. Now that Tang Hao is gone and you're no longer tied to him, joining the Spirit Hall would benefit you. And if we don't? Niu Gao asked. To be honest, you'll have to deal with the Strength Clan. If you don't join, you'll be like the Strength Clan. Xiao Ze's tone left no ambiguity. We can't leave foes behind. Niu Gao's face darkened. So our only choice is to join or be destroyed? That's the reality, Xiao Ze said. Then he took out bundles of seeds and crops from a cloth, small packages of grains, unfamiliar and shimmering faintly. Niu Gao blinked. These are crops I cultivated with my own spirit. They have special effects. Try them. If the Defense Clan joins the Spirit Hall, these special crops will be yours to exchange for what you need. Niu Gao didn't answer. He picked up the most ordinary-looking wheat and millet and, almost without thinking, chewed them. The effect hit him immediately. His already large, copper-bell eyes widened even further until they seemed ready to pop. He pointed at the crops on the table, incredulous. This! How is it? Xiao Ze asked with a smile. Niu Gao swallowed and answered, Amazing, absolutely amazing. Both my body and spirit power have improved a little. Not by much, but considering it's just wheat and rice, it's incredible. Niu Gao looked up at Xiao Ze and hurriedly asked, Can our defense clan really get these crops? Xiao Ze nodded. These are currently the highest quality. If you contribute to Spirit Hall, you'll be rewarded. Even if you don't get the very best, the lower grades will still be more than enough. Niu Gao nodded. It was true. Even a Spirit Douluo like him could benefit from these crops. If they were given to his clansmen, their cultivation would skyrocket. Good, I'll join Spirit Hall, Niu Gao declared. Don't you need to discuss it with the others? He shook his head. I'm the clan leader. I won't cause them harm. Very good. I like your character. Xiao Ze smiled. This spirit tool contains a lot of excellent quality crops and animals, only 1 tier below what you ate before. It'll feed the defense clan for 10 days to half a month. With these, you should find it easier to persuade them. Xiao Ze had gathered a great many crops over the years. Most of them were low grade and produced constantly. The high grade ones were scarce and consumed quickly. These special crops never spoiled and had been stored away. They were enough to sway many factions. Thank you, Your Highness the Holy Sun. Niu Gao was excited. He hadn't even begun any work and was already rewarded. He peeked inside the spirit tool. It was stuffed with crops and animals in vast quantities, enough for the defense clan's relatively large population. Oh, right, I have a mission for you. Your Highness, I guarantee I'll complete it. Niu Gao pounded his chest. Xiao Ze laughed. I haven't even told you what it is yet. No matter what it is, I can do it. Then what if I asked you to assassinate Tang Xiao? Xiao Ze teased. Niu Gao's face twitched. He had bragged too much. All right, no more nonsense. Go find Bai He of the Speed Clan and Yang Wudi of the Breaking Clan for me, Xiao Ze said. Niu Gao understood. Xiao Ze wanted the 2 single-attribute clans subdued. As for the Strength Clan, they were beyond salvation. If sacrifice was required for the future, so be it. He wasn't upset. After all, it had been Taitan who first severed ties. If anyone owed an apology, it was Taitan. Your Highness, I'll write the letters now. It might take a few days for them to arrive. That's fine. I'll stroll around Dragon Rising City. It was Xiao Ze's first time there. Would you like me to arrange someone to show you around? Niu Gao offered. No need. Okay. Niu Gao left to write the letters. I hope you'll come. This is a great opportunity. At the same time, Bibi Dong had summoned the sect masters of the 4 lower sects, the Black Tiger Sect, Wind Sword Sect, Elephant Armored Academy, and Fire Leopard Sect, along with the sect master of the Sacred Dragon Sect, to the Supreme Pontiff Palace. Among them, the strongest was Tuoba Shi, the Sacred Dragon Sect master, who was only 1 step away from becoming a titled Douluo. The second strongest was Hu Yanzhen. The other 3 were roughly equal. Though the Sacred Dragon Sect wasn't traditionally one of the lower 4, its strength was comparable. Bibi Dong entered the hall in a purple and gold Supreme Pontiff robe, tapping the floor with the base of her scepter as she walked. Greetings, Your Holiness the Supreme Pontiff, the five sect masters intoned, led by Tuoba Shi, all kneeling on one knee. Bibi Dong did not speak at once. She sat gracefully in the Supreme Pontiff's chair, fingertips idly stroking the armrest. Rise, she said languidly. Tuoba Shi and the others stood. Do you know why I called you to Spirit Hall? Bibi Dong asked. Aside from Tuoba Shi and Hu Yanzhen, the others exchanged puzzled looks. Tuoba Shi and Hu Yanzhen had already pledged allegiance to Spirit Hall. The rest had not. Please enlighten us, Your Holiness the Supreme Pontiff, Hu Qianqing, the Black Tiger Sect's master, said, stepping forward. Bibi Dong nodded. I intend for you to join Spirit Hall. The words stunned Hu Qianqing and the masters of the Wind Sword and Fire Leopard sects. They had never considered such a thing. As local lords, they answered to no one. Joining Spirit Hall would mean being subordinated. But Tuoba Shi and Hu Yanzhen left no room for hesitation. Both immediately knelt on one knee. Our sect agrees to join Spirit Hall, they declared. Bibi Dong's faint smile deepened. The three remaining masters cursed inwardly that they hadn't been consulted. If they refused to kneel, they'd be made an example of. If they knelt, centuries of their sect's foundations would belong to Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong watched them, then said, It seems the three of you need time to consider. Thud! Hu Qianqing dropped to his knees without further thought. As a minor Spirit Douluo with a small sect, he knew the Black Tiger sect could not stand against Spirit Hall. Surrender meant survival. Resistance would mean annihilation. The Wind Sword and Fire Leopard masters followed, kneeling in turn. From that moment on, the four lower sects and the Sacred Dragon sect were under Spirit Hall's banner. Very good. Bibi Dong's smile widened. From today on, you'll be glad you made this choice. She tossed several spatial spirit tools across the hall. These contain special crops and animal meats. Consuming them speeds cultivation and strengthens the body. Take them back and try them. The offering shocked them. Hu Qianqing blurted, Can such things really exist in this world? Crops were everyday sustenance. If certain foods could accelerate spirit cultivation, they would be miracles. Are they or aren't they? You'll find out when you try, Bibi Dong said. She winced inwardly. Winning them quickly required upfront investment, and Xiao Ze's supplies were effectively endless. Moreover, Xiao Ze had provided ordinary seeds for experimentation. If the common seeds could be grown outside Spirit Hall and had some effect, they could be researched and replicated. Even if only lower-grade crops were reproducible, they would still be invaluable. Bibi Dong entrusted the research to Chrysanthemum Douluo, knowing the latter's keen interest in studying the crops. Chapter 286. After all this time, you are the traitor. Not long after, Tuoba Shi and the others walked down the main road of Spirit City. The group moved together, Tuoba Shi and Hu Yanzhen flanked by the other five sect leaders. Tuoba Shi, Hu Yanzhen, you two have no sense of martial ethics. You just surrendered without telling us. Hu Qianqing snapped, annoyed. Exactly. That Supreme Pontiff's aura just now scared me half to death. I felt like I'd die if I didn't kneel. Feng Bailong, leader of the Wind Sword sect, added. Huo Yanbao, leader of the Fire Leopard sect, frowned and glanced at Tuoba Shi and Hu Yanzhen. I always had a feeling you two were moles. Were you with Spirit Hall already? There was a little tension in the air. Historically, the upper three sects had been one faction. The lower four sects had banded together for mutual support, and then there was the Sacred Dragon sect. The Sacred Dragon sect's power was comparable to any of the lower four, but they hadn't joined that grouping back in the day. Otherwise, it would have been the lower five sects. So Huo Yanbao's suspicion wasn't completely unfounded. Hu Yanzhen exchanged a look with Tuoba Shi and couldn't help laughing. Damn it! Huo Yanbao grabbed Hu Yanzhen by the shoulder. I knew it. You two must have agreed in advance and just rolled over for them. So all this time you were moles. Feng Bailong and Hu Qianqing looked stunned and a little betrayed. Tuoba Shi held up his hands. We did it for your own good. Exactly. What's so terrible about joining Spirit Hall? You won't have to live in fear anymore. You'll have people watching your back, Hu Yanzhen added. Hu Qianqing heaved a soft sigh. That's true, but the continent's getting more unstable. If war breaks out, we'll all be cannon fodder. Tuoba Shi shook his head. Don't worry, the Supreme Pontiff told us plainly, war will come, yes, but not right now. And even if it does, you'll all become titled Douluo. Feng Bailong and the other's eyes widened. They blinked at each other, surprised. Is that true? Hu Chanxing asked quietly, looking around. What are you talking about? Tuo Bashi replied, as if surprised. Of course, titled Douluo. If I can become a titled Douluo, then let the war begin. Hu Chanxing's voice rose. His talent wasn't low. He was in his mid-80s as a spirit Douluo. He could become a titled Douluo eventually, but it would take a long time. The offer of a shortcut sparked desire in all of them, Feng Bailong and Huo Yanbao included. Those crops the Supreme Pontiff gave you, we ate some of them too. They work even for our level. They don't affect low-level spirit masters as dramatically, but they still have a noticeable effect on us. At our stage, a year's worth of training might not even raise us a full level, but with those crops you're guaranteed 1 level per year, Tuobashi said. Really? Hu Chenxing's surprised shout made Tuobashi glare. Hey, keep it down. All right, big brother, I'll be quieter. Hu Chenxing immediately softened into obsequiousness. Tuobashi watched him, half amused. They'd known each other for years. Hu Chenxing was always like that, quick to panic and quicker to flatter. Whether it's true or not, go back and try it for yourself. We wouldn't lie to our old friends, Tuobashi said. And as for the war, being cannon fodder is impossible because... Because what? Feng Bailong pressed. Tuobashi didn't answer. He just turned and walked away. Damn you! So cheap! Huo Yanbao grumbled. Same old, Feng Bailong muttered. But at least now we can rest easier, Hu Chanxing said. That's right. If those crops really do what Tuobashi says, Spirit Hall clearly doesn't intend to use us as cannon fodder. They wouldn't hand out such precious things if they planned to burn us in a war. Let's go home and have a good meal, Huo Yanzhen suggested, and the others nodded. A few days later, a tall, slender man strolled slowly to the entrance of the defense clan. His hair was long and already white. Beside him walked another tall, slender older man, built somewhat like Bai He, but a head taller, with a ruddy complexion and dark, gloomy eyes. Old goat, didn't expect to see you here, Bai He greeted. If you could come, why couldn't I? The older man, Yang Wudi, answered in his usual tone. Bai He was used to Yang Wudi's way of speaking. What do you think old Rhino called us here for? Who knows? We'll find out when we go in, Bai He replied, and the two entered the defense clan courtyard together. Shangshang greets Grandpa Yang, Bai Chenshang said softly as they approached. Hello, Grandpa Yang, she added politely. Yang Wudi's expression brightened the moment he saw her. Good. I don't understand how a man like your father could have produced someone like you. He's very lucky, Yang Wudi said with a chuckle. Get lost, Bai He grumbled, but he wasn't really offended. He knew exactly what Yang Wudi meant. The three familiar faces walked further into the courtyard. Ha, you're here! Niu Gao's ruddy face came forward. He made a move to hug Yang Wudi, but Yang Wudi dodged him. When Niu Gao saw Bai Chenxiang, he brightened. Shangshang, you're here too. Perfect timing. I'll introduce you to a handsome young man later. You're going to like him. Bai He stepped in front of Bai Chenxiang protectively. She blushed. She'd never interacted much with handsome young men and had no idea what types she liked. You'll find out later, Niu Gao said. Show respect, or both your clans will be in danger. What do you mean? Bai He frowned. I know the Speed Clan's been in decline. Your pure agility-style spirit masters don't have much combat power. If you seize this opportunity today, you could not only help the Speed Clan recover, but even raise it to a higher standing. From now on, you, Bai He, could be the clan leader with the greatest merit for the Speed Clan. Niu Gao had already eaten the crops and the special animals Xiao Ze had given him. They'd had pronounced effects, and some of the items interacted to produce even better results. If he kept taking them daily, he suspected he wouldn't need long to reach titled Douluo. Hearing that, Bai He and Yang Wudi became serious. Where is he from? Yang Wudi asked, eyes narrowing. Niu Gao pointed toward a direction. Yang Wudi's pupils contracted, and his face went grim. Someone from Spirit Hall? Niu Gao nodded. Yang Wudi began to turn away. Hey, Niu Gao called, stopping him. Where are you going? Niu Gao, don't you know our problems came from Spirit Hall? Yang Wudi ground his teeth. He wanted to beat the man. He felt he'd been betrayed. This man, a traitor. Niu Gao didn't seem to care. It was Tang Hao who did it. Spirit Hall didn't even care about us. Yang Wudi had no retort. At that moment, a composed figure stepped forward. an emissary of Spirit Hall. He inclined his head politely and said, "Clan leader Yang, you seem very displeased with our Spirit Hall?" Chapter 287. So everyone in your Min clan is going to starve to death? When Xiao Ze spoke, Nu Gao's expression changed abruptly. "Old goat, don't spout nonsense," he snapped. Yang Wudi fell silent at once. Bai Chenxiang, watching Xiao Ze step forward, was surprised. He was barely older than she was and unusually handsome. It was the first time she'd seen a man like him, and she felt her heart skip. He scanned the crowd, his gaze lingering on her for 5 long seconds. Bai Chenxiang wore a close-fitting outfit that emphasized her slender figure. Her waist was so delicate it looked as if it could be encircled by a single hand. Her purple hair was pulled into a high ponytail, 2 loose strands brushing her collarbone. Her skin was pale and fine, faint blue veins showing beneath it. Most striking were her eyes, which had a slightly imperious look. "Who is he?" Yang Wudi asked. "Xiao Ze," Nu Gao said. "The Spirit Hall's Saint Son and the champion of the elite tournament among the advanced Soul Master academies on the continent." Yang Wudi's eyebrows rose. So he really was the Spirit Hall Saint's son. Judging by Nu Gao's tone, it seemed Nu Gao had already made arrangements with him, and perhaps even joined Spirit Hall himself. "Saint Son Xiao Ze," Bai He asked, "I heard you came from the Heaven Do Empire originally. Why join Spirit Hall?" Xiao Ze shrugged. "What's hard to understand? Spirit Hall can help me accomplish what I need. Weren't you worried that people in the Heaven Do Empire would call you a traitor?" Bai pressed. In his mind, Xiao Ze was a Heaven Do Empire prodigy. How could he simply join Spirit Hall right after the Soul Master competition? "A good bird chooses its tree to nest in, and a wise minister chooses whom to serve," Xiao Ze replied calmly. "And I can swear this upon heaven. While I was at the Heaven Do Royal Academy, I never used the Empire's resources. At most, I stayed in a room. Clan leader Nu Gao can vouch for me. I don't need the Heaven Do Empire's backing." He was building his reputation carefully. If his renown were to harm his plans, his ambitions to rise to godhood, he couldn't afford that. He'd have to deal with Emperor Shuye's corpse later to vent what remained of his hatred, but that was another matter. Nu Gao nodded. "True, His Highness the Saint Son doesn't care for the Heaven Do Empire's resources. Old goat," he said to himself, "you're obsessed with refining medicines. His Highness has things that could be made into incredible elixirs. If you could refine them, your name would echo across the continent. At least within Spirit Hall, your status would be extraordinary." Yang Wudi, curious, asked, "What things?" Nu Gao didn't answer. He glanced at Xiao Ze, clearly waiting for permission to speak. If Xiao Ze didn't allow it, he wouldn't say any more. Nu Gao might not be the sharpest, but he knew when to hold his tongue. Xiao Ze merely nodded slightly. Nu Gao's excitement was obvious as he led Yang Wudi away, oblivious to Bai He's perplexed look. "Saint Son, do you intend to subdue our 4 single-attribute clans?" Bai He asked when the crowd had thinned. Xiao Ze shook his head. 3, maybe. The Strength clan, I certainly have no interest in them." "They're stubborn. Titan and the others would never agree," Bai He said. "How about joining Spirit Hall? Clan leader Bai He, if you join, the Speed clan won't need to worry about money anymore. You could develop rapidly." Xiao Ze's proposal was straightforward. Bai He considered for a moment. "I'll think about it." Xiao Ze understood. Bai He was waiting for Yang Wudi's decision. If Yang agreed, Bai He likely would too. The Speed clan had little combat strength. To prosper, they needed the protection of the Breaking and Defense clans. The Defense clan had already joined Spirit Hall. Yang Wudi was the remaining holdout. Xiao Ze turned his attention to the young woman who had caught his eye. "Is this your granddaughter?" he asked Bai He. "Yes, my granddaughter, Bai Chenxiang." "Xiangxiang, greet him." Bai Chenxiang stepped forward and bowed slightly. "Bai Chenxiang greets His Highness the Saint Son. To reach the level of a spirit grandmaster at your age isn't bad for your Speed clan," Xiao Ze observed. "In recent years, Xiangxiang has been our clan's most talented," Bai He said. "It's a pity that the Speed clan's inherited spirit, frankly, is mainly useful on the battlefield. Off the battlefield, its usefulness is limited." The Speed clan's inherited spirit, the needle-tailed swift, was a pure agility-type spirit with virtually no raw offensive power. It relied on extreme speed for reconnaissance, but in everyday life it had little practical use. After leaving the Clear Sky sect, the Speed Clan's finances had dwindled to almost nothing. They had few ways to earn money. Who would hire a clan that couldn't fight? Other single attribute clans helped them out from time to time. Without that aid, they might have starved. Bai Chenxiang bristled. Our needle-tailed swift may not be top tier in every way, but its speed is unmatched even by those top spirits. How can you say it's useless? Xiangxiang. Bai He drew her back. It's true. Xiao Ze watched her with a faint amusement. So your speed clan is practically starving to death? That single line cut the conversation dead. Both Bai He and Bai Chenxiang were speechless. Bai Chenxiang had expected refutation, not a blunt, devastating statement. When the Speed Clan first left the Clear Sky sect, they'd managed, but after a few years, their savings evaporated. They had almost no means to bring in money. Without strong offensive power, no one sought them out. I admit our Speed Clan's spirit isn't suited for everything, Bai Chenxiang protested, but that doesn't mean it's not powerful. Then your Speed Clan is practically starving to death? Xiao Ze repeated. Can't you say anything else? Bai Chenxiang snapped. Then your Speed Clan is practically starving to death? Xiao Ze asked again. Bai He watched, lips twitching. Is this really the Spirit Hall Saint Sun? Is that all he can say? Bai Chenxiang was getting increasingly furious. Say something different. I'm being clear, Xiao Ze replied evenly. You can't even support your own clan members. Survival comes first. If you can't manage that, then no matter how powerful your spirit is, it's useless. Bai Chenxiang opened her mouth to retort, but Bai He stopped her. His Highness the Saint Sun is right. If we can't even support our own people, a powerful spirit doesn't matter. Bai He had more sense than his granddaughter had given him credit for. The laughter that followed was uneasy, but Xiao Ze's point had been made. Ha! So, what do you think? He asked lightly, watching their reactions. Chapter 288, Conquer the Three Major Families. Niu Gao's loud voice pulled everyone's attention. Bai He saw Niu Gao and Yang Wudi approaching from a distance. Yang Wudi's face was flushed with excitement, something Bai He hadn't seen in him for years. Since the Clear Sky sect's betrayal, Yang Wudi had been rather gloomy, but today a genuine smile lit his features. It had been a long time since Bai He had seen that expression. Clearly, Xiao Ze held something that thrilled Yang Wudi, and it looked likely Yang Wudi would join Spirit Hall. For some reason, that thought made Bai He feel a little relieved. Perhaps with Spirit Hall's backing, the Speed Clan could finally develop without constantly fighting just to survive. You seem very happy, old goat, Bai He said. Yang Wudi nodded. Yes. What His Royal Highness the Holy Sun gave Old Rhino is astonishing. If our clan could get those things, our strength would increase rapidly. Bai He's curiosity spiked, but he didn't press the matter. He could learn everything after they joined Spirit Hall. Yang Wudi turned to Xiao Ze. Holy Sun, I truly need what you have, but I won't join Spirit Hall lightly. What do you want? Xiao Ze asked. Among the three single attribute clans, Yang Wudi was the most desirable recruit. Powerful, skilled in pill refining, a future alchemist. I heard you can refine pills. I can refine pills too, so let's have a pill refining contest. If your pills are stronger than mine, I'll join Spirit Hall. If not, I'll join your faction, but not Spirit Hall. Niu Gao snorted. Old goat, aren't you being unfair? How many years have you been refining pills? Probably longer than His Royal Highness the Holy Sun has been alive. Yang Wudi said nothing, only looked steadily at Xiao Ze. Xiao Ze smiled inwardly. He had wanted this challenge. He had practiced pill refining for years. While he wasn't anywhere near the god of agriculture, his skill was far from weak. It was enough to tip the balance on the Douluo Continent. All right, Xiao Ze said. If clan leader Yang insists, let's begin. Old Rhino, find us a quiet room, Yang Wudi requested. All right. Niu Gao led them to a room divided into two separate spaces, one for each refiner. Then begin. Xiao Ze entered his side and brought out his Changkun furnace. He planned to refine a relatively simple pill today, the body tempering pill. As the name suggested, it enhanced a spirit master's physique. Its effects were solid. Outside, Niu Gao and Bai He sat on chairs, feeling the heat from the furnaces and exchanging glances. Do you think the Holy Sun can win? Bai He asked. I don't know exactly how strong his pill refining is, Niu Gao replied, but his calm shows confidence. I think he can win. Bai He laughed. You've changed since joining Spirit Hall. Have I? Niu Gao shrugged. Maybe I've always been like this, but earlier I was suppressed by pressure. Besides, after I joined Spirit Hall, the Holy Sun gave me quite a few good things. Bai He pictured the things that had amazed Yang Wudi and grew even more curious. Bai Chenxiang sat nearby, watching Xiao Ze's door with quiet hope. If Xiao Ze won, it would mean he was stronger than Grandpa Yang, which would be good for their family. A long time later, Xiao Ze and Yang Wudi emerged from their rooms at the same moment. Yang Wudi looked tired, sweat on his brow. Xiao Ze appeared as composed as ever. You came out at the same time, Niu Gao observed. Yang Wudi wasn't in the mood for banter. He looked instead at the medicine tray in Xiao Ze's hands. 9 pills. His pupils constricted. 9 identical pills, probably refined at once. Xiao Ze's pill refining ability exceeded everything Yang Wudi had imagined. On a good day, Yang Wudi could refine 2 pills at once. More often, he managed only 1. Yet the Holy Sun had produced 9. The gap was like heaven and earth. Clan leader Yang, tell me how my pills differ from yours, Xiao Ze said. Yang Wudi carefully took the tray. 9 body tempering pills floated on the jade tray, each the size of a dragon's eye, entirely black. Intricate patterns naturally formed on their surfaces. Most striking was the pill halo, 3 layers of light twisted alternately around each pill, and a thin mist of life swirled in the innermost layer. It looked extraordinary. Yang Wudi leaned closer, astonishment growing. These pills were nearly flawless. He didn't even need to consume one to know their effects would be exceptional, far superior to any pill he'd seen. Perhaps the Holy Sun's pill refining technique was the best in the world. I've refined pills for decades and thought my skill was quite high, Yang Wudi said with genuine respect, but I never expected the Holy Sun's technique to be this superb. So you lost? Niu Gao asked. I lost, Yang Wudi admitted. The Holy Sun's pills are perfect. In 100 attempts, I couldn't refine one like them. You haven't even taken them, Niu Gao pointed out. No need, Yang Wudi said. Pills aren't judged like other things. Their quality can be seen at a glance. These 9 are flawless. I can't find a single defect. Taking them would feel like wasting a heavenly treasure, Yang Wudi said, handing the tray back to Xiao Ze with a little dejection. He had spent a lifetime studying pills and developing formulas, and today he'd been bested by a teenager. It stung. Bai He quickly made his decision. Since that's the case, my Speed Clan will join Spirit Hall too. Yang Wudi nodded. I lost, so I'll join Spirit Hall. Niu Gao and Yang Wudi smiled, and with that understanding, the 3 clans set aside their reservations and aligned themselves with Spirit Hall.